Hello, friends. Hello, and happy fabulous Friday. Here we are on Friday, December the 6th, 2024. We have had really cold weather the past week, like down in the single digits. And today we are having a little bit of a warming trend. It's up to 32. It's going to be high 30s, and we're going to have 30s and maybe low 40s. Where's the sky? Over the next couple of weeks here and there. It's going to go up and down, but that's t-shirt weather now. Whew. So welcome in, settle in as we talk about the week ahead energies from 12/6 to 12/12. I've got our little calendar here, and there's a lot of things going on in the astrology, but like our guides asked us to do at the beginning of the month, we're going to rise above all the astrological things and look at things from more of a higher collective perspective. Well, collective perspective, like taking the mishmash amalgamation of all the astrology and putting that into this reading. Now, we do have some special times or dates to take note of. Sunday is the first quarter moon, and we have the 12/12 gateway on Thursday of next week as well. So we may do something additional for the 12/12. I haven't really looked into that yet, but definitely a week of, I don't know, what would you guys say? I've got the guides all here. I've already wrapped us all in love light and light love. What would you guys say is the overarching theme of this week ahead? Oh, okay. They're saying bubbles. All right, now I'm going to see how that plays into everything. Now, just a couple of things. If you missed it, we already had our December energy hangout. That's there for you to take a look at. If you talks a little bit more about the overarching energies of the month ahead, and special surprise, you guys are the first to hear it. I am now opening personal readings again, personal private readings again. I have two to choose from right now. Just a personal reading option that we can get, can answer whatever questions you have or whatever, and a 2025 year ahead reading as well. So both of those are available over in my Patreon shop. You don't have to be a Patreon member to purchase readings from the Patreon shop. It's separate from the membership. However, if you are a Patreon member, you get 20% off of everything in the Patreon shop. So just something to think about. And the links to everything I talk about are always in the show notes. So you guys are the first to hear about this. I have not announced this on social media yet because I announced it earlier today to my Patreon members, and then I want my Patreon members and you guys on the podcast and the show to have first dibs on any of those readings before I put them out there on my other social media platforms. So go take a look at that. If you have any trouble figuring out what's what, it seems pretty self-explanatory, but you never know. You've got my email address in the show notes as well if you have any questions about how all of that might work. So, bubbles, the week ahead. Holy schmoly. So, what I did is I've left our guides that we've had out on the table for a while, our Killing Cove dolphins, Benoit and Adilla. They just kind of want to stay. I feel like they're like our little emissaries I don't know, for the week's readings or for this particular space. You know, in the Earth Council update for this month, the Earth Council members asked us to adopt a particular body of water or water source as a something that we could channel divine energy to and give blessings to. And if you haven't read that yet or heard that show yet, again, that's part of the December energy hangout. I need to pop that update up, the text of that update, the Earth Council update, up on my blog, which I'll do later today. But basically, they were asking us to not forget about all the elementals and the fairy kingdoms, and to do what we could this month, this sacred month of December, to provide extra blessings or channel more divine energy to the waters. So in doing so, I didn't randomly pull. A guide has been calling out to me for a while now, and I haven't really been working with him as much as I did in the past, but I'm bringing in for our spirit guide this week. He is a lake naiad. His name is Troan, Troan. And he's available. He's making himself available if any of you want to work with him as well. And who is he in terms of spirit guides? So this is from my box of spirit guides that we use on the show all the time. Troan, it says, the description of him, again, this is from all my spirit guide auctions, is he brings dream work, such as dream recall and spiritual work in dreams, but also is excellent at emotional healing. He is a rugged type, handsome naiad who carries sexual energy in a low sensual vibration. It comes through a soothing love. He has wavy brown hair with hazel eyes, a square jawline, and is quite handsome. Now, when I connect with these guides, especially ones that come through like that, I don't so much focus on like them as being in a human form, although I think to my soul sister who channeled them in, many of them came to her and showed her like themselves like in a, I don't know what I would call like a human form. But I guess some of the fae and some of like the she, there's different kingdoms that do show up as human looking, what we would call human looking. But whenever I connect with this particular guide, he always comes to me as like this lake, this body of water, as more of like an all-encompassing energy rather than like a masculine energy walking up out of the water. But it's entirely up to you how you want to work with this energy. I think he's both. I feel like he's somewhat of a shapeshifter, like he is the lake, almost like, Lady of the Lake. He's like the man of this lake. And what lake is it? I'm not exactly sure. I think that's for each one of you to find out. Like, he's like, I can be any lake you want me to be. I can be any lake you want me to be. Okay, so you might want to play with him a little bit. I do feel he's quite playful, and he's very, very helpful for dream work, for dream recall. I do know I have used him for dream work before because I'm not really proficient at remembering my dreams. I just don't really remember them unless they're very prophetic. Otherwise, I'm off in some other realm doing like service work or whatever. But anyway, he can help a lot with dream work. So, okay, so in bubbles, what do we want to know about this week ahead? What do we want to know about bubbles, about the 12/12, about the first quarter moon, or anything else? Let's just play some of these decks that I haven't used in a while. I wanted to come out. This is the Modern Witch Tarot. Let's just get a few things down here. Good old Ten of Pentacles. So, oh gosh. All right. I've been seeing the World card all over the place today. And with that Sagittarius new moon that was on December the 1st, I would say probably around like Wednesday or Thursday, over the past couple of days, you most likely have been receiving very prophetic messages in dreams, in, I'm getting big chills, in signs and synchronicities, very direct confirmations and guidance about what your next steps are on your journey. I know I have. It was over just these past couple of days that my guides were like, you're going to teach, you're going to teach, you're going to teach. I'm like, I already am teaching. They're like, nope, you're going to do private readings again. And I was like, oh, okay. They kind of had me close them down for a really long time. And so I was like, are you sure? Because it's work to put all these things together if you're just not going to, what? And they're like, yes. And so I was like, give me very clear guidance, very specific synchronicities that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what, it's not what I'm supposed to be doing, but that's kind of like, it's a little bit of both. It's like, because I love doing readings regardless, right? But it's like, is that where you want me to focus my time? My Bringers of the Light service work is kind of the overarching question I had about it, because I could choose many other things. And I'm like, I need very clear, specific guidance because I don't want to be wasting my time. I want to do what's the most bang for everybody's buck, my buck included, right? Time is precious and time is important. And so I got very clear multiple confirmations and signs that they wanted me to open these back up again. So they're out there for you. 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like too, a lot of the things we're getting are a lot of the messages we're getting, and it looks like it's going to continue into next week, is how we can improve our finances. Finances has been coming up a lot. Some of you have contacted me, and you know who you are, saying you dreamt about dreamt about me in regards to money being in the dream as well. So I was like, wow, that's a synchronicity. And I had a very huge bizarre sign. I'm not going to talk about it today because this is meant to be a shorter reading, but maybe on Bringers of the Light Sunday, I'll tell you this weird, crazy thing that happened the other day. I've shared it with some of you privately, but I was like, that was the most insane thing. All right, what else for the week ahead? So pay attention again to dream signs. This weekend especially is going to be major. The horses are here. Whenever the horses are here at the Civic Center across the road, there's a huge rodeo that happens every year on the 7th and 8th. This is a big, the 7th and the 8th are very, very much for attracting what you desire. It has to do with certain astrological placements, but it's a big energy around. Now's the time to implement or put out there things that you really want, whether you're doing it through intention or whether you're, and then taking action as you're physically guided to take action. So over the past couple of days, when the guides kept saying, you need to open up your readings again, it wasn't just telling me that. It's like I needed to put them all in there. And like I set them all up in Patreon, got them all out there, notified, people that they were out there and all that. So it's like you have to take the action that you're guided to take as well. 10 of Wands for the week ahead is coming out with, there's that World card again. Holy smokes. And it's not lost on me that I see 2 flames there, which could be having to do with twin flames and divine counterparts, because there's 2 flames burning. I know the 10 of Wands is typically the, oh, I've got all these responsibilities on my back, and I can't, it's that person with all this stuff on their back, carrying all this stuff around. So I think there's a dual message here. The first one is, yeah, you're going to have more responsibilities now. There's 2 10s, 2 10 10. You're going to have more responsibilities now, but that doesn't mean you have to do everything all at once. You've heard that, like, don't burn the candle at both ends, right? So you're going to have to, like, take it easy. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, you're getting all this guidance to do stuff, but just take it a little bit at a time. Nothing is an immediate major thing that everything on your list doesn't have to be done all at once, so that you don't burn yourself out. And, this is a very interesting world card too. The fact that these 2 are coming out together. She has all these moon phases tattooed on her back, and she's staring at her own reflection in what appears to be the mirror. But is it really a mirror? I don't think it's, I'm wondering, I don't think it's a mirror. I think it's this, you've already passed into this. We talked about this morning on the Almost Daily Shorts. You're already in this new relational reality, this big, huge reality shift, timeline jump that we moved into at that Sagittarius new moon. And it's kind of like, don't look back now. I really get the feeling, where's my thing? I really get the feeling too that with all these new responsibilities, it's this new you that already jumped into this new relational reality, like looking back at the old you. And it's like, don't look back at the old you. Yeah, look, you can look back at the old you to be like, oh, thank you for all the lessons I've learned. Thank you all for all the things we did, in this world. And now let's move into this new space. We're already in there. Which my guides, I don't know which show I talked about this, where it's like we were on the threshold of the door and our feet were just like getting ready to move through. And then now I ask the guides, where's the door? And they're like, the door's already behind you. You've already moved into this new reality. So it's fresh and clear in here. Your karma's clear. Your energy should be vibing higher. You should be getting more direct guidance now. You should be able to see a more clear, definitive way forward of what you want to do. And so take full advantage of that now. I mean, you're standing in, again, this place of pure potentiality where I mean, if your karma's pretty much completely clear, you have all these wishes and dreams, you're in the relational reality that now supports all that for you, then it's basically you as the magician working with your guides in the universe to pretty much just create whatever you want to create. I mean, come on. There's nothing beats that. It's great. Let me just ask real quick the divine counterparts message. Romance. Okay, so this applies to romance as well. It's not just money. It's not just the pentacles. It's kind of everything that the Ten of Pentacles represents. The happy family life, the family, the ancestral. What so much of that is available now in that wasn't really, it was only like a thing of your dreams before. You could only kind of dream it into being, and now you're in the relational reality of where this is where it's going to materialize. So you yay, you yay, you yay. What else do we want to say for the week ahead? This is my deck, Spring Fling. It's like a massive deck. I have all these decks too. Links to everything I talk about are always in the show notes. You know, I should probably, no, I don't think I can do it like that. But anyway, these are available through the Game Crafter because they are print on demand. I don't keep physical stockpiles of decks. Sweet Treat and the Empress came out together. I think that is another thing too. Back to this message of looking back at the where you've come from. It's like, let's treat ourselves a little bit for all of that. Let's be proud of who we are. Look at, there's so much yellow. Let me just come closer here with the thing. There's so much yellow in these cards, yellow and pink. And we've got the Empress, like all the ladybugs, the flowers. I mean, this is like a relational, I could say relational reality. Some people might call it a timeline, but it's more than a timeline jump. This is like you've moved into a new, think of it like a new level on a video game, like a whole new level that's like totally like, revive. Are they just saying you're revived? You're revived. Oh, you're revived. So like you had all your lives expired. Let's think about a video game. You all your lives expired and you got like reanimated or whatever into a higher tier with all fresh new lives again. Wow. Okay, that's a little bit different. So it is with this Empress card again. It's just like right for the making. Now, does stuff materialize faster in this new relational reality? It can be, but again, we are still subject to spiritual laws here. Divine timing, is still at play, meaning, other people's free will choice. Like none of that is any different here, right? We're still subject to the laws of the spiritual laws of the planet. The law of karma is still very important. But it's more like, it's the higher in vibration you go, the faster. It's almost like you can even take time out of it. And time is much more malleable. The higher vibe and the higher in relational realities you move, time is more malleable. And it's not just us like doing stuff with time. It's like your guides are saying that they have more authority to move things along faster in these higher vibrational realms because of the energy is different here. We're not so bogged down by the outer world's constructs, so to speak. So if most of your day is spent in these high vibrational realms, and that's where you're doing your manifestation work and your materialization work, you're setting your intentions and all that, then chances are that what you want will come to you much, much faster. So pay attention to that. This is new. This is uncharted territory. We haven't been sitting in this relational reality before. It's been just newly created with some of the higher light energy that's been coming through all the solar flares and things. And with the Schumann resonance rising high, there's some different things that have been allowed this reality to be created, especially all the work that bringers of the light have done to clear density from the planet. And clear lower vibrations. time weavers and reality creators. These are other light beings that work with that, kind of like the Norns and the beings that work with fates and all that. It's much more complicated than that, but it's too dense to go into. It's not dense, but it's too much information for this kind of a reading. But it's allowed them to like really open up their magic and create some realities for us that are really, really high vibe and really, really the bubbles with a lot of levity and a lot of fun. So let's get a card from, this is that little deck, the Sue Lion, the Magic and Light Oracle. It's just very hard. I always say it every time. It's very hard to shuffle. What do we want people to know about the week ahead? Oh, this summer solstice card has been coming out a lot too. There's something else about this summer solstice card and heartfelt giving. I'm pulling this from the top because I do think this one's important. But the summer solstice butterfly transformation. Kiss the sweep of summer's starlight night as you joyously stretch your wings. So we were talking about a very special time between the 12/12 and the 12/21. So we're going to start seeing inklings of that because in the northern hemisphere it is the winter solstice, but in the in the southern hemisphere it's the summer solstice. And there's some everywhere I've been watching readings, somebody has gotten a summer solstice card at least once. I keep seeing this. I personally pulled this like 2 or 3 times in a row over the past couple of days with heartfelt giving. Give freely, give with happiness, give with gentleness, and you will give the best thing you have yourself. Don't worry, your heart will guide you. Tear off a little piece of that cotton candy cloud, dip it in the frosting of pink tinted sunrise, and surprise someone with an unexpected, unrequested act of kindness. The glow of lightheartedness will permeate the soft air and hearts will soar. Don't wait. When you pause just long enough to show your true heart, your life will be changed forever. Divine reciprocity came up. I don't remember. That's, I think, the theme of the month ahead. Divine reciprocity. See how fast these things turn around. So if you have not yet, 2 things before we close. We're gonna have to do a separate show on this 12/12 to 12/21 energy because I want to break that out a little bit and see what's going on there. But the other thing is we're getting ready to do part 3 of our financial self-mastery course. And if you haven't yet, I would invite you to take full advantage of that. That is a course that's available individually through my Patreon shop. I think that's where it's in there. Or if you're a member of Patreon, you have automatic access to that as well. But in addition to everything else we've talked about where we're standing and now in this new place, in this new, reality of pure potentiality is, again, they said things turn around much faster. If you have not started to get your finances in order with this 10 of Pentacles, that means you're making your money or whatever, but if you thought about what that means for your future, do you have a charitable giving, like do you do charitable giving every month, or whatever people call it. Sometimes I call it tithing, sometimes I call it charitable giving. A percentage of your income to charitable giving, a percentage of your income to some sort of savings plan, a percentage of your income possibly to looking beyond that into some sort of investments. Everybody's at a different part of like their financial, where they're at with their finances right now. Some people are kind of just starting off and they need to just get like a little bit of a separate place to set aside some savings, because someone was very surprised when I told them, this is somebody who's been around for quite some time, when I read somewhere that really as an emergency cash fund, just in case, something were to happen, you should have like 3 months of your finances saved up in some sort of emergency cash fund. For some people, that's like $20,000 or $30,000, and these people are like, "What? No, So some people it's a lot less than that, but it doesn't matter what the number is. What matters is you start where you are at right now, whether you're 20 years old or whether you're 60 years old. It's like start somewhere. The recommended amount to get started with is really, start where you can start. But typically, on the tithing charitable giving, it's 10% of your disposable income. I count disposable income as what's left after you've paid your bills, because you really need to pay your bills first, right? Your house or your mortgage or rent, whatever, your car, you need to pay all of that. So 10% of what's left over, and then 10% of what's left over into some sort of savings plan. But if that's too much, or seems like, some people want to play the manifesting game, like, well, let me start smaller and see what if that's really going to do anything at all. So these are the kinds of things we're going to talk about next in part 3 of our financial self-mastery course. About this charitable giving, but it's going to what you're going to see is it's going to turn around much quicker. If you start this, it's not just the fact of the giving. Oh, it has so much to do with the energy flow of the giving and receiving. In order to receive, you have to give more. You have to give without expectation. Hence the charitable giving to charities and stuff. So we're going to go a lot more into detail in that in Financial Self-Mastery Part 3. So that, even if you listen to nothing else, is that course. I don't know how many parts there's going to be to that. We just keep putting them out as we're guided to, but we're on part 3, and this is going to be a really big one. And this is the one, like, my guides are like, it's time for the young kids to learn this too. It's time for me to, get my son and get him like going on the same thing I'm talking about. So, and we will talk about all the energy behind that, the good karma it creates, and why it's important. It's not just a thing that you learn about in church or school, like you have to give to child. It has nothing to do with that. We're going to talk about all the secret reasons behind why you're supposed to be doing this for yourself. Ultimately, it comes back to you tenfold. All right, one last card. What's from what deck? Oh, what's the deck you want me to draw from? All right, since we're doing bubbles, let's get Loveland Tarot. This is my other deck. This is 2 decks combined. This is Loveland Spring and Loveland Autumn. I have all 4 packs out there. Summer, whatever, summer, winter. This is the autumn and the spring. Let's just see, one last card. What anything else for the week ahead? Planchette. There we go. With a strong focus, Melanie created her desire. The planchette, only a tool she was co-creating from a higher power. Right? Using your spiritual gifts, your spiritual tools, which ultimately are just, extensions of divine energy, to help you create exactly what you want in your life, be it better finances, your one true love, your divine counterpart, new friends, new job, new career, whatever. It's time to get on. It's time to get on it this week ahead. There's just something about the energy that is pure potential for making these things, for manifesting these things, and for what's called materializing these things, which is part of the manifestation process. All right, let me just check in and see if there's anything else about the week ahead. They're saying they just keep saying, pay attention, stop scrolling take some time out of your day to just sit still for a little bit, because I do feel like the energy is really fast with this 10 of Wands. It's got you going all over the place, doing all these different things. And you may look down and go like, oh, half my day's gone. And then it's like, when are you going to find time to put together your plan or your goals list or your dream journal? You're going to have to put that into your schedule. And every day take some quiet time, no scrolling, to just really think about what you want, write it down, feel it, that whole how to manifest things, feel it, however you go about doing manifestation, and believe to succeed. You got to believe it. You got to feel it in order for it to happen. So that's another thing, not to keep touting this course too much, but that's a lot of things we do in that course too, is a lot of energy clearing around, the not good enough and is it meant for me and the self-doubt and all that. So, all right, now let me see if there's anything else. Okay, they are complete. So this is going to be a another very fast, this week went by like, choop, it's gone. It's already Friday. It's going to be another week like that next week. And I want to know, so somewhere in here, we're going to do a 12/12 to 12/21 show for the solstice about what's so special about that portal. And we will see you. My intent is to see you on Bringers of the Light Sunday, this 12/8. On the first quarter moon, and we will be moving forward with our flying potion story and taking a deeper look into these week ahead energies. So I want to thank you so much for joining me here, and we will see you all again soon. Take care.
This episode has been brought to you by Frolicking Fraulein. Interactions with Frolicking Fraulein could bring on magical, mystical euphoria, dizziness, lightheadedness, sudden feelings of losing all sense of 3D reality.
Oh no, someone's been a naughty frolicking Fraulein.